My ex-husband called me heartless for refusing to let our children near his creepy new girlfriend, so I stood my ground and made sure they would never see her again. My 39F ex-husband, 40M, and I were together for close to 10 years. We'll call him Andy. Andy and I have 2 kids together, an 8F and 5M. We've been separated since September of 2022, with no plans to divorce anytime soon due to costs and time, and we've had the custody situation handled by ourselves. I get the kids throughout the week and he gets them on the weekends. We live about 5 minutes away from each other, each of us living with family. Andy started dating this girl less than a year ago, and she lives about 1.5 hours to 2 hours away. Let's call her Bridget. Bridget has a son, 9M, Jacob, and he comes up on weekends. I had no issues with her. I did not try to get to know her personally, but I know what the kids have told me, and she seemed to be really good to them, and that's all that mattered to me. We were not enemies or anything like that, just kinda indifferent towards each other. She came to my kids' birthday parties I threw for them, and I thought all was well. That was until a few weeks ago. It was Saturday, and Andy sent me a text telling me he had just left the ER and had the flu. I went to pick the kids up immediately. On the way home I asked my daughter what she had done that day, and she replied it was just like every other weekend. She played with Jacob and her brother, did makeup with Bridget, and then they took a bath. The way she said it made me feel the need to ask if they each took their own baths, or if Bridget stayed in the bathroom to help if needed. That's when my daughter tells me that they take a bath or shower together all the time. My mom was in the car too, and judging from her face I knew I wasn't tripping by being absolutely speechless about what I had just heard, but not wanting to cause a scene. I didn't make a big deal about it, but I did tell my daughter that I didn't want her to ever take another bath with Bridget ever again. I was so blown away. I've got a history of being essayed by a close family member my whole childhood. He passed away recently. I always said I would never put my kids in a position where that might happen. In fact, my kids have never been left alone with anyone other than my ex and I and our parents. Come to find out though, Andy had been working on Sat afternoons, leaving them with Bridget, which is when the baths occurred. Andy was well aware of what was happening though. Given the flu diagnosis and my emotions being so high, I waited until the next day to say something about it. I asked what was up with his girlfriend, and why the F would she be wanting to take baths with my child, and why the hell he would sit back and let it happen. That's when he tried to act like my daughter was the blame. We'll name my daughter Lennox and my son Asher. So, he starts trying to tell me about how Lennox just goes in there when Bridget is in the shower and she begs her to let her in. I didn't believe that for 1 second, but I just told him that they make door locks for a reason, and if the chick didn't want Lennox to be in there with her, she wouldn't be as simple as that. I also made sure to let him know just how unreasonable, inappropriate, and creepy the whole thing seemed to me. I mean, in what world is any 30-something woman going to want to do that with that young of a child? Andy had 2 kids already when he and I got together, and coincidentally enough, they were the same age then as my kids are now.
You can now check if there is a part 3 by clicking share and more.